good luck fighting Trump. I mean, you're going to get tariffs whacked on you, and you're going to be told in no uncertain terms you've got to spend more money. I mean, I wouldn't be picking that fight. Let's turn our attention to the Middle East. We saw Pete Hesketh today. I mean, he's a good performer. He's worked in the media, but, you know, he seems to be doing a pretty good job as Defence Secretary. How significant were the new details revealed during that press conference that he held with the Joint Chiefs of Staff General who's in charge of the military?
Very significant, because they gave us some insights into the attack on the Fordow nuclear reprocessing plant, which was the one that's under several hundred feet of rock in that remote mountain. And what we heard was that, in fact, the bunker buster bomb was one that had been specially designed over the last decade or so to specifically go after the Fordow complex, and that they managed to put effectively 6 of them straight down a ventilation shaft where they detonated, hundreds of feet below ground in what is probably the main reprocessing chamber of that facility. So I come away from that thinking that it's pretty conclusive on that evidence that the facility has been destroyed. I'm sure that there will be parts of the nuclear program which the Iranians are doing their best to hide, because that's what they've been doing for the last decade and longer, Steve. But, we should, I think, take some confidence from the technical assessment that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff presented last night, that they've destroyed that facility. There's more yet to be done, but that has very significantly put the Iranian nuclear program back.
And Peter, one of the things we found out about in that media conference was that this mission, this plan to destroy the nuclear capability of Iran had been in the planning for 18 months. That leads me to believe that all this discussion about whether the nuclear material that had been refined could have been moved, I mean, that can't be right. I mean, the Americans, if they've been planning this for 18 months, they've got satellites all over the joint. Surely they would know if someone tried to move that refined material, wouldn't they?
Well, they've been watching Fordow from the moment it was built, and that goes back to 2009. And I think the two countries which have the deepest and most fine-grained understanding of the Iranian nuclear program are the Israelis and the United States. And so they will have a very good idea about what is left undestroyed. And I think that, frankly, unless we see more of a change in how the Iranian leadership is dealing with this issue, we might go back to a point where there'll be, more strikes in future in order to, completely destroy the program.
Just finally, speaking of the leadership, the Supreme Leader made some pretty bizarre comments. I mean, as we know, the first victim of any war is the truth. He claimed the victory over the US and Israel. He went on to say the Zionist regime was practically knocked out and crushed under the blows of the Islamic Republic. I mean, seriously, Israel went in there before the Americans and basically took out all of their military leadership, took out all of the batteries that could fire, missiles to stop the missiles landing on Iran. I mean, who's he trying to convince? Just the local population, I suspect.
Yeah, he's trying to convince his own people, but a very large number of Iranians are actually watching international news through satellite dishes or through VPNs. So the Iranian attempts to sort of shut down access, I think particularly in the cities, will not be successful. So even to his own people, I think the Ayatollah's comments are going to look ridiculous. And it's really the expression of a regime which I think is just hanging by its fingernails, Steve. They may yet hang on because they've got very powerful security police to repress dissenters. But equally, I think in the next few months, we shouldn't be surprised if we see regime change, even if that just means a general taking over from the Ayatollah to begin with. I can't see how this regime survives for too much longer.
Great stuff, Peter. Thank you for your strong words on the Prime Minister. Peter Jennings.